Before we begin, a shout out to all of my subscribers and viewers out there. I just want to thank you for always watching Spain on a Fork and let you know how much I deeply appreciate every single one of you. Anyways, today we're making a delicious recipe, this time from the north of Spain, but more specifically from the region of the Basque Country. We're talking spiced pinto beans with sausages and vegetables. And let me tell you, this is not your typical and ordinary pinto bean dish. This is the next level in greatness. We're talking layer upon layer of so many incredible flavors, a dish that's very easy to make, and it's all done in about 30 minutes, folks. You can serve these beans as a main course or even as a side dish next to some grilled fish. Either way, it promises to fill your body with so much goodness. Let's begin by draining 2 cans of pinto beans into a colander and rinsing the beans under some cold running water. Now the size of each can is 15.5 ounces, which is 440 grams or about 1.5 cups of cooked pinto beans. Then we'll roughly chop 1 medium-sized onion, roughly chop 4 cloves of garlic, finely chop 1 carrot that's been peeled, and finely chop 1 green bell pepper. And for the final ingredient, I'm going to cut 2 sausages, each one into rounds that are 1/2 inch thick, which is 1 1/4 centimeters. To make this dish, I'm using Beyond sausage. This is a personal preference, so you can use whatever type of sausage you like. Just make sure that it's firm and not soft. That way, once you cook it, it holds its shape and it doesn't fall apart. For the next step, I'm going to grab a large fry pan. You can use a stock pot here if you prefer. Heat it with a medium heat and add in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 30 milliliters. After about 1 minute, I'm going to add in the pieces of sausage, and we'll mix the pieces of sausage around. That way they're all coated in that olive oil, and we're just going to lightly saute it between 2 to 3 minutes or until it's lightly browned. Then we'll remove the pieces of sausage from the pan and set them aside. Now, using the same pan with the same heat, I'm going to add in the chopped veggies. And once again, mix the vegetables around. That way they're coated in that olive oil. And as you know, I like to mix this continuously. That way everything evenly sautés. After about 3 minutes and the vegetables are lightly sauteed, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, which is 1 gram, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin, which is 1.25 grams, and 1/2 teaspoon of hot smoked Spanish paprika, which once again is 1.25 grams. And we'll give it a quick mix. That way the spices and herbs are coating all the vegetables. As always, the hot smoked Spanish paprika I'm using is from Kiva. You'll find a link where you can get some in the description box below. And if you buy it from that link, you're also going to get 25% off your order. Then we'll add in 1/2 cup of tomato sauce, which is 115 grams. And we'll give it a mix. That way everything is evenly mixed together, and then simmer the tomato sauce for a couple minutes. As you know, the tomato sauce that I use, I make by finely grating tomatoes, but you can always use canned tomato sauce here or even passata. After about 3 minutes and the tomato sauce has slightly thickened up, I'm going to add in the drained pinto beans, the pieces of sausage that we sauteed earlier, and we'll season everything with a kiss of sea salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a gentle mix until everything's well mixed together. And once again, remember to be gentle here, otherwise you can easily break those pinto beans apart. Then I'm going to add in 1 cup of cold water, which is 240 milliliters. You can also use broth here if you like, but for this recipe I do recommend water. That way it doesn't overpower the flavors of the dish. And we'll also add in 2 bay leaves. Then I'm going to turn up the heat to a high heat, and we'll give it a mix and bring the water to a boil. Once the water comes to a boil, I'm going to place the lid on the pan, and we'll lower the fire to a low-medium heat and simmer it for about 10 minutes. This is enough time for all the flavors to develop and for those pinto beans to have the most incredible melt-in-your-mouth texture. After about 10 minutes, I'm going to remove the lid from the pan. And look how beautiful this turned out. And as you can see, the majority of that water has been absorbed by the pinto beans, which is what gives them that incredible melt in your mouth texture. I'm going to remove the bay leaves from the pan and the pan from the heat. Then we'll transfer some of the mixture into a shallow bowl. And we'll sprinkle it with some finely chopped fresh parsley. Check it out, our spiced pinto beans with sausages and vegetables is done. This is known in the Basque country as Alubias Pintas con Verduras Especiadas. Easy to make, beautiful presentation, and the aromas coming out of it are truly out of this world good. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. Once again, folks, Alubias Pintas con Verduras Especiadas. What a beautiful looking dish. Here we go. Seriously, check that out. It's so good. Like I told you at the beginning, it fills your body with so much goodness. The combination of the pinto beans with the sausage and the vegetables, and then all those herbs and the spices, explosion of so much goodness. Once again, serve this either as a side dish with some grilled fish or as a main course. Either way, the flavors are gonna blow you away. Real quick before I go, shout out to a couple of my patrons, David Houston, Britt Saunders, Tandy Irvin, Paul Whitfield, and Debbie Lee. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. Leave me a comment below, and as always, don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow and we can continue to make amazing recipes like this. Till the next time, hasta luego.